or soccer or hockey or whatever they were. People have a passion for sport, and to see them be able to kick that on into a business career and for this to become such a local institution, I think is one of the real fabric issues of communities like this. And the other important thing about this business is it's yet another business that has a turnover of between 2 and 10 million. It employs local people here in this family business. And on the 1st of July of this year, under our National Economic Plan, they will have a reduction in their tax to 27.5%. They will be given the recognition of a small business that Bill Shorten will deny them on the 1st of July. They'll have access to depreciation pooling provisions, access to the instant asset write-off, things that Bill Shorten says they shouldn't have because he thinks Kevin Gartrell's business is a multinational and he's some sort of Google CEO operating a sports store here. Now, that's obviously nonsense. And our economic plan is all about supporting and backing these businesses in to ensure that they can drive the growth that is necessary. Now, today we had the opposition launch what they called a plan. But frankly, a picture book with a whole bunch of photos is not an economic plan. I mean, that's the sort of economic plan that Derek Zoolander would put together. It's a picture book. It's not a plan. What you need is a sensible, costed, funded economic plan. I mean, there are more pictures in this document and fewer words than there was in the 1989 Taylor Swift CD. I mean, it's not a serious plan. And we're still more than halfway into the election, and the Labor Party just cannot articulate how it is going to support and transition an economy. We are moving through that transition successfully, as our national accounts have demonstrated. And particularly here in Western Australia, which is at the cutting edge, at the pointy end of the transition that's taking place in our economy. What small businesses and family businesses and medium-sized businesses need is to support through a proper tax enterprise plan that we have outlined in the budget, and we will continue to deliver if given the opportunity on the 2nd of July. So that's our plan to go forward. It is funded, it is costed, it will be legislated, it will provide the certainty and the stability that we need for our economy to continue to move forward. So businesses like Kevin's here can continue to do what they're doing, employing local young people and giving them an opportunity, as well as continuing to train the odd cricket legend Kevin, or the next person to follow in his footsteps as a local sporting legend. And so it's tremendous to be here, Ken, and with you here in Hasluck. Ken is a real champion for his local community, whether it's small business or it's community organisations, or particularly as my previous portfolios in social services and immigration, where I work closely with Ken as well. He's someone who has his finger on the pulse of this local community, understands its needs, and it was also good to meet with the local Swan Chamber this morning as well to talk through some of their issues as well. So with that, happy to take any questions.
Chris Bowen says that he's laid out a detailed 10-year economic plan. He says the federal government hasn't done the same. What do you have to say about
Chris
that?
Bowen honestly is dreaming. What Chris Bowen doesn't understand is the Charter of Budget Honesty requires you not to give up on a budget for 4 years, but to actually provide one for 4 years. That's what the Moody's and other ratings agencies look at, not at 10-year dreamt-up numbers, which Chris Bowen has yet to even deliver. What you need to do is what we did in the budget, and we've continued to articulate, and that is to ensure that you don't spend more than you save, that you don't increase the tax burden on the Australian economy by more than $100 billion. Now, that's what the Labor Party is doing in this election. That puts our transitioning economy at risk, and then you add to that the chaos of Labor, Greens and independents. Chris Bowen having to frame an economic statement 100 days after the election with his Deputy Treasurer Adam Bant. Now, that is just a recipe for absolute chaos. The alternative is our clear national economic plan that we've set out very clearly in the budget, fully funded, fully costed, and Australians can rely on it.
A reliance on the 5 to 6 years of projecting with a surplus. Are you sort of prepared to guarantee that you will deliver a surplus in the 2020?
The projections for a surplus are in 2021. I won't do what Wayne Swan used to do. On hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of occasions, Wayne Swan would go out there guaranteeing surpluses. What the projections show, based on the estimates that are in the budget, is the budget will return to balance in 2021. And that is the plan the government is working to, and we'll continue to implement our plan to work towards that outcome. But what Labor have done today is, apart from trying to pass off a picture book as an economic plan, is they've given up on the budget. they've actually said, we can't make our budget add up over 4 years, so we are giving in, the Labor Party is saying. Labor is saying, we'll have a higher deficit, which means they'll have a higher debt, and we'll try and make it all add up over 10 years. We'll bake in the expenditure over the next 10 years, so the only one thing that is certain is they'll spend much, much, much more, but they won't have the savings or the revenue to support it over that period of time.